Catch Texas in Color every Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And it is a wonderful morning here. Well, if you want to call it wonderful, 84 degrees already. And we just had fall, but I think it's the second edition of summer coming our way. The way things are heated in this election year, it can't be no better what the temperature is like. Our guest today on Texas in Color is Miss Byrd, Brandy Byrd. Good morning, young lady.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Oh, be nice if I put on my headphones so I can hear you. Okay, there we go. I just heard you a few minutes ago.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. It's nice to have you on our show today. And it's a lot going on in your county. And
Yes,
we're going to dabble into some of that. Do you want to introduce yourself and tell our listeners about you?
Okay, my name is Brandy Byrd, and I'm originally from Houston, Texas, born and raised. I'm a veteran. I'm a mom, and I actually live in Killeen, which is Bell County, and I'm running for tax assessor collector. And so, also I'm a veteran. That's how I ended up in Killeen. I retired out in San Antonio, lived there for a year, and then moved to Killeen. Been here the last 17 years, and I've done everything with finance and accounting for the last 33 years to include federal, state, county, and municipality. And budgeting is everything. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Let me ask you something. What motivated you to pursue this position, and what changes or improvement do you aim to make if elected?
So what motivated me to actually run? Well, let me say this. I never dreamed about being in politics, and how I got into it is that one of my friends, she was running for city council in Harker Heights, and she was like, "Hey, I need some help." And I was like, "Well, I'm not doing anything, so let me go help." And the further along I got in it, I saw the need, but specifically I was at a meeting, and in this meeting it said it lists this lady, her name was Julie Oliver. She listed all the things that were opening up in the county, and no one wanted to participate. And what's been happening in our local county is lack of participation, voter apathy. And what has been happening specifically is that we have been not giving the other side a challenge. And so all those seats were open, and I looked and I said, you know what, I can be a catalyst for change. Running for tax assessor collector would be easy, but my whole motivation is to get more people out to vote and aware of things that's going on in the county. So that's very important to me.
I see. You sort of dabbled into my next question. You must be psychic over there or something. On what specific issues or challenges inspired you for your decision to run for this office, and how do you plan to address them?
So some of the challenges that I'm facing is, again, voter apathy. I got to get people civically engaged, because what's happening is that with allocation of resources, a technical term to say where are we going to put the money. If we don't tell people where to put the money, they're going to put it just where their peer group, and it's very short-sighted. And we're very diverse here. It's like little America, and those things. So civic engagement, transparency in government. Nobody knows exactly what the tax assessor in Bell County does. Everybody gets it wrong, which is a funny thing. But not only that, utilization of services. So what I intend on doing is also pairing voter registration with vehicle registration. And let me tell you what my job is here in Bell County, because it's very specific. What my title, what my role I play when I win my election. So I act as an agent of the state, specifically for the Department of Motor Vehicles, and I'm over vehicle registrations and alcohol and liquor funds. And that's pretty much it. That's my job. So yeah, I like to say, in the role of politics, I get to have fun. So, I'm not like the people that's running for, state senate or house representative. I get to do, extra things. And I like that I'm running talking about money because that's a unifying talking piece.
That's a universal language. Everybody wants it, a piece of it.
Yeah.
Um, Let me see here. Can you share with us your qualification and experience that makes you a strong candidate for this role?
Right. I did mention 33 years in finance and accounting. How I started out was in Houston, they had a job program in high school. And so I worked as a student aide for vessel documentation, which is a fancy way to say federal boating license. So I worked in that department, which is kind of funny. It's full circle because now here I am with vehicle registration. So then I went into the Army and I started as an accounting specialist. And then they merged MOSs to make financial management technician. And there, some of the things I did was work accounts receivable, accounts payable, dispersing, um, reconciliation of funds, budget analyst, a whole plethora of accounting and finance things and in a variety of roles. I even got to make software for the Army, the 3 years I was at Defense Finance and Accounting Service that they utilize today. So it's three different programs that I worked on, which was pretty neat. But let me tell you, my most important thing that I did and that I'm really proud of is I always mess up the word, but repatriating um, Americans back over to the United States. So when you see those conflicts and stuff and they evacuate people and they evacuate the embassy, I was the person that actually did those payments, which is pretty cool. Um,
Mm.
did that. And then not only that, I worked for the state on Texas Water Development Board. I like to say I know all the little dirty secrets about the municipalities because what happens there is that you have to come and submit your financials to be approved for low cost grants and low cost loans. So that, and then I did financial counselor with the Fort Cavazos, and what that is doing budgets for transitioning soldiers, making sure, they're aware of their finances and filling in the gaps where, we can help. But not only that, I worked at VA, so people call up, they say, hey, same kind of like the Army, hey, I didn't get my money, or, I don't think I'm paying right. And there, we did like 30, at least 30 audits a week, one person. But not only that, we audit your account and then we tell the rater how to do their job. And then they make those inputs. So, a plethora of experience. But
Okay.
most importantly, I want people to get out there and vote.
Oh, yeah, 41 days left for voting.
Right. And
Uh,
let me say one more thing, Ron. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
In Bell County, the voters, when they come out and vote, is so low until like when I first started, it was 1.9% of the county. But now after the primaries, it's less than that. It's less than 1%. So it's disturbing.
Wow, that is.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
We
No,
got-
like no, see, and we're the 19th largest county in Texas. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. What commitments or improvement are you promising to deliver for the people of Bell County?
Yeah, so one of the things, again, I like to crack jokes. I like to say I'm like the Texas Railroad Commission. They have nothing to do with railroads. They're over energy. Same thing like with me with taxes. I have nothing to do with taxes per se, but as of December, I became an actual voting member on the tax advisory board. And what I plan on doing is going around the county with the county assessor's office who does property taxes, and they're going to do classes about property taxes while I talk about voter registration. And we're going to do it continuously because it's an education component that needs to be done.
Yeah, most
So
definitely.
and also I'm pairing voter registration with vehicle registration. We don't do that here. And that's something that's been done a long time. And, it needs to be done here too.
Yeah. Which brings up to this question. Given Bell County tax assessor collection has some duties removed, such as calculating property taxes rate, collecting taxes, local entities, What are the core responsibilities for this position in Bell County? It appears that a tax assessor collection job has nothing to do with taxes.
Nothing at all. So, again, vehicle. So, okay, let me start back about what was said. So, essentially, most counties, the tax assessor is over all the revenue generated. They send the taxes up to the state. Not only that, they're over elections, and then they're over property taxes, right? So here, and this happened back in the late 70s, early 80s. It was a law passed that essentially made the tax advisory district, and that's what's over property taxes here. It's contracted out. But since I have no teeth and I can't bite anymore, you know, again, what I can do is go around the county and have them educate people on property taxes, because here in Bell County, some things that has happened is also disturbing. People have voted on initiatives and the county acted as if they didn't even vote and did not enforce it, or they go and enact things that nobody wants. For instance, I live in Bell County. It's not Houston. We do have crime, but we don't have crime like Houston or Dallas or San Antonio. And so we have one jail, and we received $100 million of COVID relief money from the federal government. And so they took 70 million of that money and they made a prison for profit. And I'm like, who are they gonna put in there? And then I start, I'm an analyst at heart, and I start analyzing and I started talking to people. And what I found out is that we have an overcrowding problem. And the reason why we even have this problem is because people making six figures, they're not doing their job. And what's happening is that people are in jail longer than they have to be, and they're sitting on cases. So that's, again, we're paying for things that we're not getting. So they took 70 million of that COVID relief money, and they went over budget, 18 million. Yeah. And they made property taxes go up 3 cents. And that's just the county. That's not the city or the water district or the school board. That's just the county. Yeah.
So like nobody don't know how to manage money there. You get $70 million. It's supposed to be for
They don't
something else.
they don't listen to the people. And so again, just your peer group. So if you think, people, again, the population is diverse. And if you think, people should just be in jail because, like again, like one of the initiatives that came through is deprioritizing marijuana, right? Now I don't smoke, it stinks to me, and I don't care for it, but I don't think anybody should be in jail forever because they smoked the bud. Like, what are we doing? And then you have to pay for that. And you have to pay for their medical. And it keeps going. It's an endless loop. So, they're not making laws that helps us as a county. And, that's very infuriating.
We're gonna come back and follow up on that one. I'm gonna go to this
Mhm.
right here. Given the importance of protecting information, what steps will you take to ensure the security and things be uh,
So how am I going to protect your
yeah,
information, your
the
personal
taxpayer
information?
information? Because I did find out by talking to some people that somewhere along the line, somebody found out how to get into and find out who you voted for and the party
Right.
that you're on. They should not have that information. And they're not giving out on how they got it. So with that being said, how are we going to protect these taxpayers?
So let me say, I talk about smoke and mirrors. If people know who you voted for, and that technology is out there, and and I hate to say it, and I'm just gonna be honest, it can't be protected. If you vote, we can see who you voted for sure, and it goes along party lines, right? I can see if you're a Democrat. I can't see the Republican side, but I can see the Democrat side. And so they actually have apps and technology that captures that information. And what they do is the election officials, they capture all the information, and it's public knowledge, honestly. And so they download that data to see how people voted. And then they make apps and they load it up and, they sell it to the different parties and stuff. So that information is out there, people. I can take, they can see who you voted for. So, which that should not stop you from voting. Let me say that. Actually, it should empower you. And, let me go to church. You should always be bold in what you do. Because if we remain silent, we're going to keep getting these things happening to us, in a negative fashion. So be bold. And
Mm,
then talking about again about IT, right?
right.
So what I learned the tax appraisal district, that's the people that were developed back in the late 70s, 80s. There they in my district, they actually had server problems, right? When we had a tornado, their server room was busted up and they needed more money. But not only that, the software that they currently use, like you put inputs in, and then the inputs that come out on the other side is a different software. So the two don't talk at all. And so, and it's an antiquated system that they haven't updated. So again, going back to the commissioner's court, which I want everybody to know, that's where in Texas, that's where all the money that the state gives them a pot of money and the federal government to manage. That's where all the money comes down to, where we receive our funds. And so again, not shoring up, where we get our resources, our revenues from.
Yeah.
Like how you have a broke system. How you gonna get your money?
A little at a time.
Yeah,
I hate
right.
saying that, but we have to wake up.
That's right.
When you talk about the system on computers and servers and all that stuff, I mean, I could talk Tom Blue in the face about that, but you have to have a server off site.
Right, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
so when
Yeah.
something happens, the backup is already there. You're not shut down. And
Yeah, I was rapid deployment. I know all about that. Yeah. So
yeah,
like when I like I do enemy and civilians and stuff because I am a veteran. So like when an enemy attacks you, right, you need a backup system to keep going.
right.
So for sure, I don't even know if they had it, honestly. I don't think they do.
Oh,
But absolutely, that's part of security awareness for your systems. So yeah. So they need money. Let me tell you, they need more
money?
money.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you putting money in places that's not needed. So again, talking about that server room and the old systems, right? They could have took
mhm,
that COVID relief money and built that up. Or I'm gonna give you another insight. So here, that when you house, well, basically when prisoners are in jail, you have to provide their medical needs, right?
right.
And so they took the indigent care money, and what that is to for people that can't afford medicines or medical care, they took that money and they're using it on the prisoners, instead of where it's supposed to be. Yeah. So, things like that, or, making roads that's improper. So I'm gonna give you another instance, right? We got a road, Federal Rail and Chaparral Road, right? It's a small 2-lane road, right? They built housing. I think over there it's probably about at least 10,000 houses in that one area, right? And so then they added another community, 3,000 worth. Now remember, it's still 2 lanes. And then they put a high school, a middle school, and an elementary is coming. And they didn't widen the road. They didn't put up lights or nothing. So it's like one way in, one way out.
So basically, they built all that without doing any type of infrastructure to make sure traffic can be handled on there. So I,
Exactly.
the roads and all that
Things
stuff
like
should have went
that.
in. If they knew that was going on out there, they should have went on and had money set to decide to widen the roads for all the influx of people coming in.
And put sidewalks for the kids. They can't even walk to school because it's so dangerous.
Man. Okay, we're gonna get back to
I
that one.
know it's something, Rolly. Let me tell you, it's amazing.
I can't.
It's right in our faces. It's like, don't you see that?
Yeah, they
You know, like,
do. They do. They see it.
don't you?
Well, see now,
And
as you
and
now
then I'm
as
gonna give you, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna give you one more fact, right?
okay.
Now, I told you we the 19th largest county in Texas, right? You know, most of our budget goes to the court system, the majority. Yes, it's
Wow.
appalling. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, y'all got some. I'm not gonna say it. Y'all got some issues there. I'm gonna say it.
No, for sure. And what they're doing, they're using us as a money. I talk about power to purse. Whoever holds the power holds
Hmm.
the money. And so what's happening here? We have Fort Cavazos, and then we have a large transient um residents here because people are always coming and going. People are staying longer here in Killeen. But and it's a young population, right? And then you have the rural part and the farmers and all of that. So what's happening is that we're being used for our taxpayer dollars because we generate so much taxpayer dollars. But not only that, we're not aware. So the state is taking our money, right? And they're holding on to it and they're not properly funding initiatives and stuff. And it's just not my county, it's other people's counties too. But people just aren't aware.
But you're the first one that I'm listening to that really pinpoint everything what the problem is.
Right,
And
right.
and
'Cause I study this stuff. I mean, like I say, I'm curious. And then I go out and talk to people, which is very important, and see what's really, going on, what's really happening. So
mm, wow. All right. As a new voter member of the Texas Appraisal District, what are your plans?
so again, going back, bringing it to the people, and instead of just saying, "Oh, that's not my job," I don't deal with property taxes. And what the tax appraisal district is, they only do administrative things. So we make sure, we hire the county assessor or we fund that office, administrative type stuff. But I'm taking an extra step to actually go around the county continuously, not just, quarterly or, one time. No, we're gonna go around and we're gonna talk about property taxes and appeals and how you can better leverage yourself to make better decisions about your property taxes. But not only that, now this is me personally talking, not politician or anything. Like every year, people property taxes go up. Why aren't we giving them, like at least 2 years grace, to get some stability in the household? Why are we going up, all the time? And I know that this year is different with inflation and everything, but people are hurting and it's things that we need to be looking at to help people stabilize because without people, there's no money. It's nothing. So we have to make sure we invest and we shore up, our communities.
Yeah, definitely on that right there. Speaking about the taxes and the assessment that they do on the houses there, I know in some parts of our county here that we get people that will go into a neighborhood and they'll build a $350,000 house, and the house next door on the left and right is not even worth $100,000, and their taxes go up because of that. Now that's hurting people when they do things like that.
Right. It's happening here too, especially like in our downtown area. So it's been an initiative downtown. It's beautiful and it's been working, by our mayor. Um, so what's been happening is like, okay, if same thing, if a person builds up, a building and it has people coming in, it has good flow, then the person next to it, which is a slum landlord, now they're hiking their stuff up 100,000 when before, you might have got 5,000 because the pipes are bad. Because our downtown has been around since the 1800s. It's pretty significant. And so you got pipes from back then. And it leads into other buildings. And now you're talking about, this is a $1 million building. No, no. And so we have that lopsidedness, that we got to start fixing and evaluating properties properly. But also here, with the assessor's office, people come out of town and they assess these properties and they have no clue about the things that's happening here locally. that they could make a better assessment. And so what's been happening is that they just hike everything up anyway. And I'm gonna give you an example. It's a longtime resident, and he used to be the sheriff here. So they hiked his taxes up, right, on his property. And then like his surrounding neighbors, same stuff, no improvements, no nothing. They didn't hike their taxes up, but they did his. So it's a lopsidedness. And so if people don't become aware, they're just gonna keep doing what they're doing. And so I'm fighting to change that.
Well, since you said that, what can you do to let people know aware of what's going on? Because it sounds like some people just whatever they get mailed, they just pay for it and ask any questions until it gets
Right.
outrageous, and then they're upset, and by then it's too late.
It's too late. Yep,
What,
exactly.
so
That's
what can you do to inform them before it gets to that point?
an education piece, so again, going around the county, educating them on that, the specifically the county appraiser's office, but and talk about taxes and stuff like that, and start educating people continuously. Because again, remember we have low voter turnout, right? So my strategy is again, talking to them continuously, going out to the people, because that's what's missing too. People are scared of other people. They don't want to talk. Again, they just want to be in their own little bubble. And that's not how healthy government work. To include, working with the other side. We all have to work together. And I value people's opinions. I don't like yes people. If something's wrong, please tell me. I respect constructive criticism. I listen, I research. And again, we have to work together on all sides to make a healthy government. And what I learned running is that our society is so sick. Again, and I like to say it's not the two-party system, it's the one party. And what we're fighting against is the ultra rich, the corporations and the ultra rich. Because basically I like to call us digital slaves. And that's what's happening.
Mm. So you have a lot of rural area in your county, right?
Yes, yes.
And and so when you mention that less than 1% get out and vote, for you running for election, I know you got to get out there and talk to the people out there, let them know what's going on. But how else can you generate the voters to come out? Because this is the election of the century, I call it.
Right,
We need
right.
to get people out and vote. So, what are your tactics that you're doing to make sure that, hey, I need y'all to get out and vote? The problem is we don't care who you vote for, just get out and vote.
Exactly. That's my whole message. So when I go out, I'm talking to everybody. And so like it doesn't bother me to talk to Republicans or Tea Party or anything, because guess what? We all, hey, it's all about that money, right? And you're paying. And so my thing, what I tell them, I like, you're paying for services that you're not getting, and your taxes are gonna go up. And guess what? And I've been telling them, and or in our community, but not only that, it's gonna keep going up, and they're just using you for your money. And if you look at, don't go by what they say, look at what they're do. And then I pull the layers back, and I show them that, hey, this is what's happening, and I give them things to think about. And again, I don't berate or belittle or anything like that. I educate. I bring awareness. And then the other grace is that I've been in the financial community for forever. I know how to connect with people, and I know how to talk to them without feeling, all up in arms, or like, you're on the other side. No,
Yeah.
I'm here to help you save some money. Because they using your money, to fund their lifestyles. And that's not right. And then again, I'm talking about the schools, right? The schools are being defunded silently, and it's being done right in our faces with the whole voucher system thing. That's crap, because what they're doing, they're taking public funds, they're taking our money, and then they're giving it to private schools who and people that don't need your money. these are millionaires, billionaires, people that don't have worry woes that can, pay $60,000 for, you know, preschool, elementary, high school. They can pay for that. But the thing is, how much power and control can I have over people? And it's a flex. Let me tell you, it's a flex for rich people that I can take money from, the common person. And I can take that money, moving pots of money. I can take that money and put it here. And guess what's gonna happen? They're not gonna do nothing about it. You know, we basically, being called out as punks, which is horrible. Yeah, like again, I'm like, don't you see this stuff happening? And like, and
Yeah.
I show.
I'm going to do my math right now because I have
Yes, sir.
something to say about that. I'm going to make sure I'm right before I say anything. All right. There's 254 counties in the state of Texas. 158 of the county, they don't have private schools. Only
Mhm.
96 counties have private schools.
Exactly.
So if
Yes,
you
sir.
come out doing that school voucher, it's only going to go to the 96 counties that have private schools. The other
Mhm.
ones is just out of luck. Because
Right.
the money that Abbott is holding on to right now should have been dispersed already to the public
Exactly.
schools, but he's holding
Exactly.
on to it for his cronies,
Right.
and
Right.
that's do the math. That is not right.
Right. It's a switcheroo. So I'm gonna take that all at that pot of money, right? And then, I'm not gonna, have it go to the schools. I'm gonna use it in some other place. But before that, I'm gonna, again flex, my millionaire, billionaire friends, these corporations. Hey, look what I can do. Come on to Texas. Come on. And not only that, we have the highest population of blacks.
Mm.
And if everybody that was registered to vote came out, we could turn the state blue. But again, they're not aware. And one of the things that I talk about when people say, "Oh, my vote don't count," da 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 da
Mhm.
da, I tell, and this not just black people, white people too. I tell them all demographics. I tell them like, "Hey, that's voter suppression. That feeling right there that you feel." That is voter suppression. And that they put billions behind you feeling that way right there. And so I want them to sit in that, and then not only that, when you don't vote, especially for the young people, because I'm passionate about them, because this is their future. That's your money. That's your legacy that they're squandering. You need to be, active and vocal now about these things because that's your that's your stuff. Because I didn't did my thing. You know, you know,
All
you
right,
got to come on in here.
tell everybody how they can help you out, um,
Okay.
and how they can get a hold of you, where they can send things to, all that stuff you have out there. Can you let everybody know?
Right. So they can get in contact with me. They can call me. And I'm also accessibility. Your local leader should be accessible. So my phone number is 254-818-8252. You can call. I'm gonna answer, text, whatever. I am accessible and I am very knowledgeable. But not only that, I'm on Facebook. It's Byrd, Byrd, the number 4, Bell, Bell. And then every place else is Byrd written out, FOR, Bell. So Byrd for Bell. And please donate. I have Act Blue. It's grassroots efforts. And when I say that, it's not money. We're not making it rain. It is a small community. And so, and let me say this too. One of the other things that's troubling here, they practice classism and they don't understand the dynamics of money in the United States. So if you don't act, and I want to say this to everybody, I hope y'all hear me. If you don't come together as a group and unite, all you got to do is agree on 3 things, right? 3 things. Um, and put aside your differences and you need money and put money behind it, you're never gonna be taken seriously at all. They're gonna just keep inviting you and never really give you a seat to the real table. So remember that. So Act Blue, Byrd for Bell. My name is Brandy LL Byrd. Please donate because them signs are expensive. The campaign literature is very expensive. Don't throw that stuff away. Call your local leaders. Call all of them because your voice deserves to be heard. And
Right.
that's how you get good, healthy government. Very different differences. Yes, no, naysayers, all that stuff, so we can make good policy changes for everybody. Again, it's Brandy LL Byrd, Byrd for Bell, Act Blue, donate, volunteer, be civically engaged, and most importantly, vote. Take
Yeah.
somebody out there with you. October 21st, early voting starts.
Oh yeah, we definitely know that over here. That's early
Yeah.
vote, and it's coming up. And
Yep.
the last time to register is October 7th.
Yes.
The cutoff date right
Absolutely.
there. So make sure we do that. And all right, Miss Brandy LL Byrd. I got the LL, got to remember that. We appreciate you coming on and sharing all that with us because hey, I picked up something else I didn't know. Every time I have an interview, I'm gonna be more knowledgeable come November 6th than anything else.
I'm telling you, you getting the people ready. Like, hey, y'all need to be aware this stuff is happening for sure.
Right in
For
front of
sure.
our faces.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
All right. Well, you take care and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for watching Texas in Color. Please tune in every Wednesday at 11 a.m. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification button so you'll be notified each and every time we go on live.